We are going to start by making the lemon curd because it needs some chilling time in the fridge. So I'll start by juicing up some lemons. Then transfer it to a saucepan along with your eggs and sugar. The other thing that you need to prepare is to cube your butter and keep it ready near your worktop. I will tell you why in just few minutes. So now that all our prep is done, we will switch on the gas to medium-low and continuously whisk and cook the egg mixture until it is warm to the touch. With clean hands, just check whether your eggs are warm to touch, and if so, then start feeding the egg mixture with butter little by little, just like the way you can see it here in the video. And this is the reason why I had asked you guys to cube your butter down and keep it ready near your worktop so that it is easier for us to feed the egg mixture with butter when it's about the right time. Remember to keep on whisking the egg mixture right from the start to the end. That is because if not, you will end up cooking up the eggs and you will get a scrambled egg. So there are 2-3 things that you need to take care while making a lemon curd. One is that the flame should be medium-low. Second is that when the egg mixture turns warm, that is when you start adding your butter. And third is to keep on whisking your egg mixture right from the start to the end. Slowly you will observe that the lemon curd mixture is starting to thicken up, but how do you know it's time to take it off the flame? What I like to do is when I see the first boil coming up, I start counting number 1 to 50, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 like so up to 50 in my mind. And when you reach the number 50, just take it off the flame, pass it through a sieve so that you get a nice smooth and creamy texture, and then cling wrap, set it in the refrigerator until ready to use. Make sure that your cling wrap touches the lemon curd so as to ensure that there is no formation of skin on top. To make these lemon friands, you would need a special kind of baking tin. This is where it gets its classic oval shape. However, if you do not find this, you can definitely use a regular muffin tray instead. The key or the most important step in making a friand is to grease your baking tin really. I cannot stress how important it is, but really well. So this is the first and foremost thing that you need to be doing is to grease your baking pan really well, because the friand cakes tends to stick to the baking pan while unmolding. Once you have greased the baking tin with butter, go ahead and line the base with a parchment paper. Now let's start making the batter, for which here I have some butter that I'm gonna melt in the microwave. You would need melted butter, allow it to cool a bit. So we will start with this step first, and then we will start whipping our egg whites. So we need to whip it until just soft peak stage, because if you tend to over whip it, you will get an uncontrollable rise of the cake in the oven, and if you under whip it, you will end up with the densest cake. So we need just soft peaks there. Moving on to dry ingredients, here I have some almond flour and plain flour. We will take it onto a bowl and add in some icing sugar to it. Some lemon zest. Mix that all in. Now that all our 3 elements are ready, it's just time to mix it all together. So here I have our melted butter. Make sure that it is not hot, because if it is, then it would eventually cook up the egg whites, which you do not want. So I'm adding the melted butter to our flour mixture. Along with this, I'm also gonna add in some vanilla essence. The recipe does not call for it, but I believe that adding a good quality vanilla essence would help you avoid the eggy smell that you get in the cake. Mix it through a bit. And when you can still see some flour left out, that is when you add your first set of softly whipped egg whites. Now this is what we call a sacrificial stage. So the first set of meringue that you add, just mix it well. We do this so that to loosen the cake batter. But from your second and third set of meringue, you have to fold the batter really gently because you do not want to lose the air that you have whipped up in your egg whites. Since there are no raising agents in this recipe, so all the rice in the cake gets from the whipped egg whites. So now that our batter is loosened, we will add second set of our softly whipped meringue and fold it gently. So cut and fold. Using that method, we will fold in our egg whites gently, just like the way you can see it here in the video. When you can still see some streaks of egg whites left in the batter, that is when you add your last set of egg whites and combine it until no streaks of egg whites remain. Remember, you do not want to overmix this batter because you will lose air, and also if it gets overwhipped, you will get a denser cake. Now that our Friand batter is ready, let's distribute them evenly in between the prepared tin. Level the top off and then bake in a preheated oven of 180 degrees Celsius for around 18 to 25 minutes. Once they are out of the oven, set a timer of exactly 3 minutes on your cell phone. That is because if they stay longer in the tin, they will start sweating and stick to the bottom, and then it won't come off from the tin. So exactly after 3 minutes, run a knife around the edges to loosen it up and tip the tin upside down to release all the prepared friands. So I'll be honest with you all, it seems that I have overbaked the friands by a minute or two. It needs to be little paler in color than this, but it still passes the spring back test. That is, if I poke my finger onto the cake, it springs back to its real shape. So it has turned out to be soft and light, just that I feel it's overbaked around the edges. So the next time I'll just remember to bake my friands for a minute or two less. Cool the friands completely, and by now, as you can see, the lemon curd has also set. So it's just time to bring everything together. I have added the lemon curd to a piping bag fitted with the nozzle 4B. So before piping it onto our cooled cakes, let's dust the top with some icing sugar. And here goes our lemon curd. Just a dollop of it on the top. And sprinkle some nuts on top. This was such a delightful cake with rich and buttery almond flavor and light and fluffiness from the egg whites and the tanginess from the lemon curd, coming together all well to give you a beautiful experience. And now let's just cut in and see how the texture looks from within. Oh, by the way guys, as always, all the tips that I have mentioned in this video, you can find it in detail in a written and printable format from my blog spicesandflavors.com. So definitely check it out if you are someone who loves reading more about baked goods. Ain't our cake looking gorgeous? I absolutely love these friands, and yes, these are the same ones about which I had mentioned in my Queenstown blog. I hope you liked my today's video, and if you did, then do hit that like button, subscribe to Spices and Flavors, definitely hit the bell icon, and I will see you soon with yet another one. Until then, this is Sushma signing off. Take care. Bye bye.